going on, you fam? Raiyuden here. Before we begin with today's video, I just want to let you know that the second episode of my Outlast Let's Play is out on my second channel. What the hell was that? Why is he here? Listen, dude, there are only 2 lockers and I never left that room. I'm not in here. Logic to think I'm not in here! What? No, I just keep telling that in my head in order to get myself going, and I think handling it a little better. Oh my god. If you haven't seen the first episode or you never checked out the second channel, then please take the time to go ahead, support your boy, go ahead and subscribe and check it out. It's going to be a lot of fun. I think everyone is having a good time watching me get spooked. So if you want to go ahead and check that out, the link is in the description. Now for today's Legends video, I wanted to run a team that took advantage of the fact that the new Android units and the new Vegeta all have one similar tag. They all have the Movie Saga tag. So both of them, or well, all 3 of them, can be run together for a really good team. So here's the team that we're going to be rocking. I like to call it the Prince of all Androids team. It's kind of cheeky or whatever, but so we're going to have the Vegeta, Android 14 and 15, and then on the bench we're just going to have Broly, who buffs Movie Saga units, Cooler, who also buffs Movie Saga units, and then we're going to have Cell there that provides a significant amount of buffs for the Android units, with one of them being predominantly strike attack. So he's a super good bench for him. Now, just something I wanted to mention for you guys, if you want to run similar teams, keep in mind that I often just like to run the first 3, even though it's not in the best situation either, just because I want to show them off. But if you run into opponents that would absolutely demolish the starting lineup, feel free to swap them around. You don't have to use the 2 androids with Vegeta. If you needed to use Cell and Broly, then go, by all means go ahead and do that. Don't feel that the first 3 are, you know, the creme de la creme and the rest of them are just garbage. Go ahead and, you know, mix up the teams, whatever suits you best. Now that we went through that, let's jump into PvP. Alright, here's the first match of the video against basically a Fusion Warriors team. I mean, there's absolutely no reason for him to be bringing out Great Saiyaman and stuff, so it's basically Fusion Warriors, let's face it. I'd like to start at the matches with Android 15, just because if I have to swap out to somebody else, that's not a problem. And if I do gain priority, I also, my allies will do additional damage once I swap into them, so it's a really great way to get the start going here. You could also start out with the Vegeta, just because his blue card allows him to heal a little bit, so there's wiggle room for making mistakes. But I'm telling you, this team's actually quite nice. Vegeta himself, he has so many buffs for himself that he's able to do quite a bit of damage. He doesn't need too much help from bench units assisting him in terms of damage. Now right there, I honestly thought I was going to 1, miss it, and 2, that it was a Ki Blast card, so I was just going to blast right through it, but I just got lucky and it worked out for me. Android 15, in my opinion, has one of the best main abilities in the game. The ability to draw 4 new cards with 60 Ki is so good for getting another Rising Rush, or for getting a Rising Rush right off the bat. It's kind of absurd. Absolutely absurd to me. It's the quickest way. I honestly feel like this team is the quickest for getting a Rising Rush, 100%. You could make it, you could argue that it's the female warriors because they have fast draw speed and they have reduced cost for a lot of their cards, but you know, this game, your first starting deck or whatever, your first set of cards that you draw, the game likes to give you quite a bit of Dragon Balls. Oftentimes you'll have at least 2 or 3, and then you tend to draw 1 more when you do your combo. So once you do all that and then you swap into Android 15, you're bound to get the remaining Dragon Balls that you need, if not only lack 1, and then you already have your Rising Rush. So it's super good. Now I already lost my Vegeta, which kind of sucked. I mean, it is the way, it is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it. This team has a really balanced set of cards in its deck, so it's 6 Blast with 6 Strike, so I don't have to worry too often that I get predominantly 1 card. It's just unfortunate that in this case I had 4 Strike cards, and it was hard to just dump them. It's hard for me to just get rid of them. Ever since they nerfed the Strike canceling, it's been so poor Strike cards got nerfed heavily. It's a little bit difficult to sort of get priority or engage with a Strike card. So I lose Android 15, I lost my Vegeta, this dude has a Super Vegeta. It seems like all is lost, but I don't like to give up too early. This red Super Vegeta is, I mean, this red free-to-play Vegeta is very, very tanky. The Fusion Warriors team in general is just overwhelmingly tanky because of this guy. But now I know someone's gonna say, "Oh my God, Raiyuden, you're freaking wing K. You used feint." Now, look, the cards are stacked against me here. I agree with you. I don't like to use feint either, but in this instance against a Super Vegeta where I have type disadvantage and he has 3 units up with one of them that can still heal, I think it's okay. I just wanted to see if it would be possible for me to make some sort of comeback here. I'm close to a Rising Rush. I still have Vanish. In my mind I'm thinking, okay, that this is still possible. I'll do the best that I can. So catch him in the sidestep there, and I have enough cards to do a Rising Rush. Things are looking good. So I shut him out there. I need to be careful here. If he swapped out to a Super Vegeta, I don't think he could have. I don't think enough timer counts I passed. But Red Super Vegeta, he's tanky, but he's not too strong. So without a doubt, Android 14 could tank a couple hits from him. But I don't know why it didn't let me key cancel out of that. I think it was because I accidentally pressed the blue card. I was already thinking that it might have been over, but that 40k HP right there was my ticket to the victory. I knew we could still get this. I used the blast card because I knew Super Vegeta was coming out. This guy loves to immediately swap into Super Vegeta. So thankfully I still have the blue card, so I can choose that. But if Super Vegeta is out of the way, in my head I'm thinking, okay, I have 1 Vanish that I have to use. He has 2 characters, so I have to rely on the tackle at the beginning. It's just going to be luck at this point. So Super Vegeta is dead. I go for the shoulder tackle, bait out his Vanish. Now I waited there until I drew another card in the odd chance it was going to be a blast card, but I didn't, so I just had to Hail Mary it, and it worked out in the end. He went for a blast card, and I had a shoulder tackle go in, so I got to take the W. It was a cool little comeback there for sure. Here's the second match of the video against a Lineage of Evil / Frieza Force team. They're kind of basically the same units. They're predominantly the same starting lineup, so. Starting out with Android 15 came through for me, but I really like facing against teams that aren't just the Fusion Warriors team. It's nice to have a little bit of diversity here. Transform into Super Vegeta, Super Saiyan Vegeta. Tries to get me to his green card. I thought I had enough time there. I guess I didn't. I guess it wasn't a perfect Vanish. My judgment wasn't there. He guesses my swap out really well right there. And then he also gets that. And that's what got me when I faced Brad right there. That right there is pretty tricky for me. And this is why I feel like his main ability is one of the best. I immediately gained 4 new cards, and I have a Rising Rush in my deck. Before, I wouldn't have been able to do that because one of the Dragon Balls were on a card that I couldn't get rid of. So straight away from there, I get a Rising Rush. The strongest thing in the game. Kind of sucks that it's just predominantly blast cards and a strike card, but I used the blast card just in case he thought that I had predominantly strike cards in there. Yellow Vegeta doing some pretty decent damage. That paralysis right there is the one thing that I was worried about. I got smacked by it twice, so I'm thinking I gotta swap out the first instance that I get. So I'm trying to bait out his Vanish there. But I get him with the shoulder tackle. I thought you could chain those. It was just a theory in my head, but I was like, oh, I mean, we can just test it out there if I do that. Another neat little thing is Android 15 reducing damage once he swaps in, which is nice. So, but he's still taking crazy damage. He was still gonna die without a doubt. I mean, Frieza had the type advantage. 100%, ever since they changed out how the decks are generated, I always just go either strike or blast, mainly those two. It's just so rare that you would see it beat anything else. He decides to sacrifice his Yellow Frieza because he felt it wasn't worth it. Or, yeah, I don't think he had his, I don't think he had the Vanish either, but. Starts to lag a little bit. No surprises at all. I mean, at this point, I'm just used to it. I don't even want to be upset about it. Now, I swap out to Android 15 here for a reason. This ultimate ability, this ultimate attack, it does damage on the units on your bench, dependent on how much damage he does to this guy here. So Android 15 taking reduced damage and having type advantage was absolutely key to making sure that everyone on the bench didn't get hit too hard. Now, I probably shouldn't have swapped out there, just because there is no guarantee that I would have Android 14 back in time, but Still went for it anyways. I was hoping that Vegeta would have, his blue card would be cost less, so that I'd have enough in order to get him, but I guess I didn't. It is what it is. I can go ahead and sacrifice Android 14. I only have 4 strike cards, which is bad. I'm trying to bait out his Vanish here. That's the most important thing. Thankfully it works in my favor. Since I still have the blue card, it's either he gets hit or I get rid of his Vanish. So thankfully in our case we get rid of his Vanish. And knowing when he tap attacked there, I knew that he didn't have any more cards or key. Didn't matter either one. This Vegeta is such a just powerhouse once he swaps in. Android 15's plus 20% damage inflicted with Vegeta's absurd strike buffs once he swaps in make for a deadly combination. And then the final match of the video is against another Fusion Warriors team or Super Saiyan team. There's the Super Saiyan Bardock there. Oftentimes people don't just let him sit there on the bench, so I was a little surprised to see this. After all, I don't really have any yellow units, so I would have assumed he would do that. Oh well. This Vegeta, to me, has one of the best transformation animations in the game, so I'm really hoping that the new Future Gohan is coming out in the next banner, which we're probably going to get a preview for tomorrow or tonight, is going to have an animation as good as that. I really hope so. They tend to do a good job with their transformations, especially as of late, so I'm really hoping that he has something absolutely fire, just something just super badass, something fitting for that character. Bait him with the little Ki Blast there. Super happy about that. I knew Vegeta was gonna come. I mean, I had a bunch of strike cards. What was I gonna do? I had no luck. Get him with a nice little Ki Vanish there, and I have enough for a Rising Rush, which is quite nice. So doesn't matter who I swap into here, they're gonna get killed. Thankfully, Vegeta, no one there has type advantage over him. Finally get some card diversity when I do my Rising Rush. I wonder, I don't think Vegeta heals when he casts a blue card in a Rising Rush, right? I can't remember. I don't think he does. Would be interesting if he did, but I don't think he does. Gogeta just getting blown up, man. So Gogeta's out of the way, and honestly, either Gogeta or Super Vegeta, if one of those two disappeared, then I'd be okay. Like the red Vegeta here, he can't. If you have type advantage over him, he's not gonna do anything to you. Honestly, he's gonna do pennies. And now, out of all the units I could have got rid of here, Android 14 for sure. He's the only one that I have on my team that someone has some sort of type advantage over him. So I wouldn't mind if he got killed. It would be okay. He probably should have went for his ultimate ability there. Now, see, I have 4 strike cards. Pop the main ability just so I can get some diversity here, because I needed some other cards. I couldn't just try to gain priority with those. Now he's in a sticky situation. He's either going to bring out that red Vegeta, who has type disadvantage, or his Super Vegeta is going to get hurt pretty bad. And I guess he made the decision to let his Super Vegeta get hurt quite a bit. My opinion, I wouldn't have done that. I would have let red free-to-play Vegeta take some hits, because Super Vegeta is the best bet in order to gain a chance at victory here. Super glad I got rid of his ultimate ability. Once that is out of the way, I have less to worry about. So there goes that hard-hitting attack. He gets a perfect Vanish there, so I couldn't get out of that. But he gets a Rising Rush. I can 100% throw away Android 15, because at this point he served his purpose. Super Saiyan Vegeta can handle Vegeta for sure at this point. Vegeta is very weak. And then his free-to-play Vegeta will be the only one left. And if you have type advantage over that Vegeta, he's not going to do any damage to you. Just the nature of him being a defense type. Power up a little bit. I wanted to end it quickly in the odd chance that he had a second Rising Rush being saved. I was very worried about that, because even though I have type advantage over him, if he gets a Rising Rush off with 2 of his units being dead, it would absolutely have killed me. So I made him use his Vanish here. Now he has to use the shoulder tackle, and I'm very lucky that I get a blue card there, because if I didn't have a blue card, I wasn't sure if I got a blast card, for all I know he had a Rising Rush save, then I wouldn't get it in time. And if it was a strike card, there's no guarantee it was going to finish him off. But with the blue card, we got to seal the deal. Another nice little thing about this Vegeta, his blue card costing less and doing more damage per strike card. But anyways, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to check out the second channel. I'm going to be uploading the third Outlast episode today, so I hope you guys look forward to it. And until the next one, peace.